Today on Yester Kitchen, we are going to make a very popular Italian dish with a very American spin. You're going to love it. Let's get started. Hey everyone, I'm Jill and this is Yester Kitchen. If you're new here, welcome. It would be an honor to have you join us as we explore retro history through food. So today, we've got a good one. So who's heard of veal piccata or chicken piccata? Those are the two very, very popular versions of piccata. Well, I've got a great one for you, but first, what is piccata? Piccata is usually classically a veal or a chicken, most commonly veal, that is pounded thin, then dipped in flour and then egg and then some kind of breading and sauteed and topped in this lemon, wine, caper kind of sauce, with butter, absolutely butter. Delicious. So today we are pulling a dish right out of the 80s with a very American spin, and we are going to make it with Gouda cheese. I kid you not. So I promise we're going to get into the history, but let's get this dish started. So the first thing you want to do, this is not dough, this is Gouda cheese. Gouda comes in discs, round discs covered in red wax. The wax is very thin and can easily be just barely cut it with, don't cut through the cheese, just the wax with the knife, and the wax peels right off. From there, you want to take your discs and cut them evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect. This is not science. In half, directly in half. And then you're going to take your discs, 6 of them, so 3 packages, right, on a cookie sheet, either covered in foil or wax paper. It's going to go in the fridge and it's going to stay there until we're ready to bread it. So give me a second to put those away. The whole point of this dish is you want to keep your cheese cold as much as you possibly can. It's going to be fabulous. Okay, so where did piccata come from? It is on pretty much any Italian menu that you go to, but it's not really Italian according to most food historians. So as usual, the story's a little fuzzy, but piccata is believed to have been created by Italian immigrants, most specifically Sicilian immigrants, and that's because the lemon and butters and wine is very, very common to Sicilian cooking. So they think it was invented by Sicilian immigrants in the 1930s in America. But why piccata? Well, the word piccata is really hard to translate from Italian to English. I don't speak Italian, but what I can tell you is the word piccata kind of is derived from several different words with several different meanings. But typically, piccata refers to the technique, not the actual dish. So the technique of pounding your meat, and then the flour, and then the egg, then the crumbs, then the saute, then the sauce. But like I said, we're using cheese. So really quick, remember when I did my sukiyaki episode? Oh, okay, I got so many comments from you. Sunset cookbooks, I remember those. I have them, I love them. My mom had them, so many memories. So you know what? I'm gonna actually bring out some more of my Sunset cookbooks, except there was a little competitor to Sunset, and it was known as HP Books, which they look pretty much the same, except up here it says HP Books instead of Sunset. Cheese cookery. This whole book is full of cheese. What? Oh yeah. And this glorious 1980 book right inside has a recipe for Gouda piccata, and I'm like, oh my God, I have to make this. We're gonna start exploring more HP and Sunset books. For right now, let's concentrate on piccata. So here's what I've got. I have 1 cup of flour in one bowl, 2 well-beaten eggs in another bowl, and 2 cups of crushed cornflakes in a bowl. You can also use breadcrumbs, you can also use panko. Their recipe called for cornflakes, so of course that's what we're doing, but any of them will work just fine. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna bread our cheese. Now, of course, you can't pound out cheese like you would pound out veal or chicken, so we're just gonna leave it alone, but I have my happy little cheeses right here, and one by one, we're gonna dip them in flour, egg, and then the cornflakes, and make sure they're all well coated for each one. So your hands, I think I'm gonna take my ring off. I don't want a breaded ring. Might get a little bit dirty, but that's okay. So you know the breading method, right? I'm sure you've seen it before. 1 dry hand, 1 wet hand. So we're just gonna go ahead and do this. Make sure everything is coated. Oh, and it's just not wanting to stick. So give me a second. Come on, you, everybody. There we go. So you're gonna take this, and now we're gonna coat it in our crumbs. See, it's not rocket science, it's just cooking. We're just having fun. And actually, there's something very zen and therapeutic about breading. It's kind of like kneading bread, kneading dough. So this beautiful thing is exactly what, there we are, exactly what you want. So we're gonna take this, put it right back on our tray. I'm gonna finish them up and I will be right back. Okay, I'm done. I did wash my hands. So here we go. Look at these beautiful, beautiful, oh my God, seriously, these guys, right? Just completely melted cheese with lemon butter sauce. So you wanna make sure that your little cheeses are not touching. And now they go in the fridge for an hour and a half because you really want them to set up so you have a good crust for when we saute them. By the way, my cornflake crumbs, my cornflake crumbs, all you do is you put them in a bag and you roll. You can buy cornflake crumbs in Crumbs, or you can just take cornflakes, put them in a Ziploc bag, and either use a rolling pin or a wine bottle. I actually gave you a demo when we did banana scallops. Do you remember banana scallops? Oh my God, so good. Right out of the 40s. So you guys telling me you want to hear 40s episodes? There's one for you. Okay, I am gonna put these guys into that fridge for an hour and a half. I'll do the waiting for you. We'll be right back. Hey, it's been an hour and a half. I've waited for you. We're good. Okay, so now I have brought in a nice big skillet, and in my skillet, I have a half a stick of butter or a quarter cup, same thing. And to that, and as you can see, it's starting to melt away. I've got about a medium-high heat going, and I have a quarter cup of vegetable oil, not olive, vegetable. We are frying, so vegetable is always the way to go. So we just want to mix those two together and just let them get hot. Oh, you hear the sizzle? Oh my God, that is the sound of fried foods. I have my cheese, and it looks exactly the same. Look at that. But they're cold. They've been sitting for an hour and a half. The crust is all set in. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna fry cheese. I don't think it gets any better than fried cheese, seriously. I have my serving platter. Yes, I know everybody asks. Yes, it is Fiestaware. I love Fiestaware. It is just my favorite thing. And I have my very retro oven set at warm. It really doesn't have a warm setting, so it's at the lowest, which is 150. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do just 2 at a time. You don't wanna overcrowd your pan with these. We're gonna fry them about 2 minutes per side, put them on the platter, go into the oven, and then we're just gonna keep that process until they're all done. And then we're gonna make that amazing lemon sauce. And oh my God, hello. Okay, so you can pretty much pick them up with your hands and just be gentle putting them down there. So you want to make sure that the oil is covering everywhere, which it is. Here we go. We got one. We can probably fit 3. You know what? This pan is big enough. If your pan is smaller, just do 2 at a time. But you don't want them to touch. You want to kind of let them chill. So I'm going to let these guys sit here for about 2 minutes. Okay, it's been 2 minutes. I'm going to flip them right now. You want them browned. You only want to turn them once. So you can always go and peek. I'll go, yeah, that's brown. And then over they go. I guess it could be a little bit browner, but that's okay. We'll be fine. One more. There we go. Whoop. The cheese is already melting. I can see it. That's why you don't want them to touch so they don't stick together. And by the way, I have the other 3 cheeses back in the fridge because you want them cold as possible until they hit the fat. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this go for another 2 minutes and we'll be back. Patience, patience, you're gonna love this. Okay, so it's been maybe a little more than 2 minutes. I've been watching it, but look at this. We're gonna go ahead and take our little cheeses out. The thinner one is actually starting to melt out the sides a little bit, but it is okay. One, look, see, isn't they cute? And just gonna get all these cheeses out, but take a look at how beautiful they are and just wait till you see how we finish them. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other 3. I'll be back when all of them are done, and we're gonna make a lemon, caper, butter, white wine sauce. Hello. All right, our other guys are just about ready to come out of the pan. Normally when you make veal piccata or chicken piccata, the meat is pounded so thin that it cooks very quickly. You want thick cheese because if you use thin slices of cheese, it's just gonna be a gooey mess. So you definitely want the thick. When it's sitting in the oven while we're making our sauce, it's gonna get even more melty. Look at my beauties. Oh my God, they're so gorgeous. Okay, so I'm gonna put these in the oven to stay warm. For your sauce, let's start our sauce. I have a little tablespoon. You want to reserve 2 tablespoons of all that butter and oil that your cheese has been bathing in, and the rest we're gonna get rid of. So, okay, sauce time. So I dumped out all the oil, but you have all these beautiful brown bits left. You wanna keep those in there, that's flavor. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna pour back their 2 tablespoons of butter and oil, which has some more little brown bits in there, which is so good. And now the lemon part. You're gonna want 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. It's usually 1 lemon. So I've got that here. I'm gonna turn down the heat a little bit. And then from your fresh lemon, you want the peel. So here is our lemon peel. And what I did was I used a microplane to grate it. And if you haven't seen the video, again, my 40s people, I got another one for you. Lemon meatloaf. If you haven't seen it, it has bacon. It's so good. Anyway, I give you a full demo on how to use the microplane to peel your lemon. And you always want to peel your lemon before you juice it. So in it goes. To that, you need 2 to 3 tablespoons of either water or white wine. What do you think I picked? So here is maybe 4 tablespoons. May or may not have an extra tablespoon in there. And I'm just gonna stir it around and just kind of let all these flavors kind of mesh and say hello and get mixed with those brown bits and everything. And then lastly, we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of capers. Actually, I am gonna bring the heat up a little bit because we're gonna bring this to a boil just until it hits a boil, just because you're getting it all hot. Then we're gonna bring our cheese out. We're gonna put it all together. All right, our piccata is out of the oven. Here's our sauce. So it's just a little bit of a waiting game for the cheese, but you really want that crust to be chilled on there. Okay, all that's left now is, pouring our sauce over all the cheese. Guys, there is nothing wrong with this dish. We want to decorate it with some lemon slices so our guests know what kind of sauce it is. And you just want some thin slices, just you know, to kind of pretty it up. And of course, what would be piccata without parsley? Is this absolutely gorgeous or what? So ladies and gentlemen, Gouda piccata, seriously. And we're gonna be exploring more Sunset and HP books, I promise, because these are so great. Supposedly created by Sicilian immigrants in the 1930s. You know what's left to do. Fried cheese, yes please, fried cheese. I'm just gonna cut off a piece because you know it's gonna be, oh yeah, look at that. Oh, come here, Mr. Piccata. See, this is for dinner tonight, so, look at that. Oh my God, seriously. So what I recommend, if you're gonna make this, because it really is fried cheese after all, is to serve it with a salad with like a vinaigrette, and then the vinegar will help counteract all the fat that's in the cheese. But like I keep saying, retro cooking every once in a while, once a month, twice a month, have it. Clearly, I do it more. Now it is time. You gotta make this. You have to make this. It is mind-blowing good. It has every flavor of piccata, the lemon, the wine, the capers, but it's cheese. And then when you do, send me pictures and let me know. You're welcome. Thanks for stopping by. If you'd like to explore more dishes from your childhood or just the past, I invite you to subscribe. I release new videos every week. In the meantime, there's some more retro dishes for you. And remember, every dish, even Gouda, piccata, seriously, oh yeah, has a story. I will see you in the next video.